Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. So make it a great night, folks. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow down 90, NASDAQ off 35, S&P's off 13. They're going to be down 20 before I get off this 4 o'clock show. Gold contract down $3.40, traded $1,250 an ounce. Silver off 11 cents at $18.95 an ounce. Platinum down 13 at $1,385 an ounce. Copper down 6.5 pennies at $3.10 a pound. Light sweet crude flat at $92.66 a barrel. Bonds, we have the 10-year off 8 ticks at 124.22. 30 years down 6 ticks at 137.25. King dollar up 49 ticks at 84.29. It looks like that's going to take a rest. You got up to a higher high today, back down. Euro up 24 at 129.18. And the yen down up 28 at 106.31. Get ready for some action, folks. S&P, what do we have with the S&P? Cash S&P, this is where we are, folks. We hit a high today of 2001. We're at 1993. We're going to take a look at the future. What you're going to see, and this is going to be fast and furious because this has been building cars, folks. Right now, we're down 13. When I started the program, we were down 10. Your price projection on this right now is 1980. If you remember from 2 days ago, the larger price projection is 1975. This baby can hit today. Why? We just broke through the bottom, broke it with volume. If you take a look at this 10-minute bar, you not only have it with volume, but what you have happening simultaneously is this, is that we have just gave back 2 weeks, and this is unusual in the context of where we've been, meaning that right now the future S&P is trading at the 25th of August. What I expect we're going to have before I get off this air at 4 o'clock, never mind 5 o'clock, is that you're going to be back under 1985. What that sets up is, guess what? That sets up an S&P of 1890. It's a big number. Dow Industrials. We're going to take a look at the Dow Industrials, what you have with the Dow. They've been weak all day. Dow Industrials down 94 bucks right now. What you have, same setup there. Now, the Dow is already inside the not the lower range because we're in a high range, but the Dow being at 17,017, that wants to get down to 16,334. The composite, now this is the big one because the composite was the strongest one totally. Composite's off 41 bucks. That also is back to the 25th. In order for the composite to get a lot lower, though, it has to get inside 4485, and we're quite a way away from that. I expect we're going to get it. Why? Because if we go over to the 3 Qs, what you have with the NDX 100 is this. NDX 100 couldn't handle higher price today, got to a higher high, giving it up in spades, and what that's all about, folks, is good old Apple. Apple brought them in, reeled them in, took them south, and there's going to be so many people that lose so much money on this, it's going to be disgusting. What you had is that the hype was out there, the whole ball was out there, started at 1 o'clock today. Apple went from a price point of 98 up to 103.08, and right now we're at 96. Apple, before we finish this baby, is going to be down at 94. It's going to be down $5. It can even hit 89. This is going to be a trip watching this thing play out because Apple just blew out its bottom on a 10-minute with some really good juice. You know, on that 10-minute bar, we just did 10 million shares. They're throwing everything at it. Now, watch this with Apple. This is what's amazing at Apple, too, is that if we take a look at, and we were talking about this a couple days ago because I was watching the buyers versus the sellers, meaning the large buyers, and what was really unusual is that Apple couldn't hold its high with Fidelity, who's the largest owner of Apple, continuing to buy stock. Well, guess what? Fidelity didn't stop buying stock. Even on the weakness of Apple, Fidelity bought an additional 17 million shares yesterday. So Fidelity right now owns 3.21% of the company as of the filing last night. Now, inside that context, right? So picture, they're buying 17 million. The largest sellers that have to show that they are selling, okay, are very small. You had Invesco selling 8 million yesterday. So they're moving their position out. Every single day, Invesco has been selling. They sold 8 million yesterday, and you had UBS. And UBS was small. UBS was like 2 million, yeah, 2.6 million. So when you take 8 million to 2 million, okay, that's very small in the context of Fidelity buying 17 million. What does that set up? What that sets up, folks, is that there are other buyers and sellers in particular, that are selling that stock away that don't have to file immediately. Those larger funds, for some reason, are filing immediately. Most of the time, you don't have to file unless you're over 5%. For some reason, they're filing, meaning that those were sold yesterday. But that, in that context, that's really important to understand. Bond market. Let's go take a look at the bonds. We'll start with the 10-year bond out here. We are at 124.22. And, okay, so you're coming to the top. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so you're at 1.1 million contracts out here today, and the 124.20 is the number. If you get back inside that, meaning it doesn't reject that price, then what you do have a game is 123.22. Thus far, you stay above 124.21, and you're at 124.22. And we do have lighter volume. That says that you can still stay in the higher range, which is the 126 level. When you take a look at the yield, this is amazing, we're still under 2.5. We're at 2.493. We take a look at the 30-year bond. We have with the 30-year bond. 30-year bond right now is trading out at 137.26. Oh, it's going to be cool, man. Check it out. 30 is going to reject lower price out here. Has already done it today. We got to 137.14. You're at 137.25. We did 296,000 contracts. That's nothing, folks. This at the high, we have 530,000. Bonds want to go higher, 10-year and 30-year. King dollar. Now, let's check this out, because King dollar right now looks to me that it's the end of the move. But what you have is this, on a short-term basis. King dollar today got to a price point of 84.65. 84.89 is your continuous contract swing price. You know, bottom line, I suspect it's going to back off there. Now, check this out. I'll give you the bullish and the bearish thing on that. This is what's pretty intense. King dollar itself has had a run that's extraordinary. It's gone straight up since July 4th. 79.75 to 84.52. The swing point up here is this 84.89, 84.99. When you back off right before you get to a swing point, and you've had this expansion of volume, wide price spread, all of the above, that's telling me that, number one, it's going to blow that away and actually go up to the 89. So now in this context, we'll do the bull-bear setup in between the dollar and between the gold contract, okay? So we're very close to the high. You got a little doji up there today. Things tired. I figure we back off. As we back off, now let's go over to the gold contract. What gold is doing, I'll bring up the GLD first so you can see this in case you don't have future contracts. What the GLD is doing, and the gold contract and the silver contract is doing, that is coming into your December highs. That December high level of the low is 120.77. The volume on that, folks, is huge. You know, the volume at that was 63 million shares. Last week we did 30 million. So what I expect you're going to see is that is going to be a stopping point in gold also. And then what you're going to have is that the dollar's going to either go sideways or back down a little bit. Now, that will give room for the gold and silver equities to run. And if we go over to the XAU, this is what you're going to see. And this is where it's really close here, meaning it's teetering. And what I mean is that the XAU and the HUI still look that they can go lower for the next few days before you do get that turnaround. So this is going to be really a dicey trip in particular. The XAU's at 91.90. That baby can test that 87 area. So there's a lot of twists and turns that are happening in this marketplace right now. Volatility is here, and that's a beautiful thing. There's S&Ps. Those S&Ps, man, this thing's going to get blown apart. Dow's down 99, Nasdaq's off 40, S&Ps are off 14. We're going to be right back.